It's expiring at the end of this year. And I
And
believe that up for
has this committee reached out to anyone, or, because what happens is the city just posts it, just say it's available, but I would encourage any of you to contact others that might be interested. Oftentimes, there's very specifics about what role they would bring, like you.
Vanessa, again, I just wanted to let you know we were live streaming right now.
Okay,
Thanks, Vanessa.
so I'll stop talking.
We'll get back to that
Okay,
during the discussion time. I did write that down as something to discuss with terms.
we'll look at it.
Okay, well, welcome. Our chair, Mike Morrow, is not going to be able to be here at least at the beginning of the meeting, so our vice chair will be stepping to preside the meeting. So call the meeting to order, and the first item of agenda is roll call. Vanessa, would you be willing to do roll call, please?
Aaron, could you do the roll call for me? I've never done that before, so I'm not sure what I'm doing.
Not a problem at all.
Alright.
Mike Morrow is absent. Christopher Burkholder,
Present.
Kat Pence, absent. Lieutenant Colonel Nathan Edgecombe,
Present.
Richard Field,
Present.
Judith Kiss,
Present.
and Benjamin Wington.
Present.
Thank you.
Thanks. And so we do have a floor. We do. Yeah. All right. Has everyone had a chance to see the agenda for tonight's meeting for November the 19th? And do I have a motion to approve the meetings, the agenda for this meeting?
I move to approve the agenda.
I'll second it. Thank you. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed say nay. Okay, motion passed unanimously. Has everyone had a chance to review the minutes for the meeting of September 17th, which was the last time we met?
Yes.
And are there any adjustments to those minutes? If not, do I hear a motion to approve them?
I move to approve them.
Second.
All those in favor say aye. Aye. All those opposed say nay. Motion carries. All right, moving on. Public comments. I believe we have a notice of public comment by Leah Archer.
I'm not sure if he is, oh, there he is. Okay, there you go. Hello. Hey.
Leah, we can't, you're on mute.
Hi, can you hear me now?
Yes, we can hear you.
Hi, thank you for letting me join.
You're welcome.
So you are the first in the
Agenda.
first thing. Yep.
Yes, we're seeking public comment, and we have your name down as someone who would like to speak. So feel free to state your comments.
Okay, and I'm here with Kent Emery, who was just
Hello.
on the screen. Kent is a former pilot aviator and has a hangar at your airport. And what we'd like to propose and see if we could get your support on is a proposal for a fly-in fundraiser. The background behind the fundraiser is, I can't see anyone. Can you guys see and hear me?
Yes, we can see and hear you.
There you are. Okay. So Kent Emery, some of you may know, he had a stroke about 3.5 years ago. And that stroke left him with the common right side paralysis, post-stroke pain, and aphasia. Aphasia is when a person knows what they want to say, but it's has difficult time either speaking it or understanding it. It's common with strokes and or a traumatic brain injury. So through Kent's compassion and understanding of how difficult this is, he and I have started a nonprofit organization to help those with aphasia to get the already existing help and treatment that's out there. Kent, through his own personal success, was able to attend what's called an intensive comprehensive aphasia program in the University of Michigan. And through that, he's been able to regain a lot of his speech. And by regaining his speech, he's regaining his parts of his old life. He's still unable to fly because the darn tower can't really talk as quickly and as clearly as he needs to the tower yet. But during his journey, he realized that he was fortunate enough to be able to financially attend these ICAPs, as they're known, but also had the realization that people without the funds aren't able to attend because they're very, very costly. And they're just financially out of reach for most. So we've developed a nonprofit organization called Aphasia Relearned. And we can share that website with you. And we are in the process of gaining donors and creating awareness and visiting the ICAPs that there are across our nation, which are few and far between. We actually don't have one in Oregon, in Washington, in Utah, in Nevada. There's one in California, but most are located in the eastern part of the country. So what we're proposing, with that background, what we're proposing is that we, a possible fly-in fundraiser in May of 2026 at Salem Airport. That's where Kent learned how to fly, and I'm currently learning how to fly, with a pancake breakfast and a silent auction that would be held there at the same time. And what we would just be looking to you guys is, would that be something that you all would support? If so, who would be our contact or our liaison to connect with and start organizing this? Possible volunteers. We'd also talked about use of hangar space. Ken has a hangar at the North Hangars, but we've learned that possibly the B-17 group has a better hangar location that might be more accessible to all. And that is our proposal. And this is our first step in kind of bringing that forward. And Kent, do you have something to add?
Yeah, I just want to say that if it was not for, first of all, it's funny because I went flying with Steve, my instructor, and everything I was able to take off, I was able to cruise at whatever feet, and I was able to land. The problem is I cannot talk very good. Now, as you can see, I can talk pretty good now. The problem is numbers are very hard for me. And so actually it's kind of funny because I was just talking to Steve, and I think on Sunday I'm going to go flying and see if I can talk again. And so it might be that I can talk again, and that would be awesome. I used to be 4 planes. Was a 150, a 182, a 310, and a 421. And I wish what happened. I had a stroke, not because of most people where it bleeds in the brain, but because I had a injury because I was racing a stock car. And anyway, I the thing is that if it was not for the fact that I could go to the ICAP, I know that I would not be able to talk again. Literally, I only said 3 or 4 words before, and now I can. It's still hard, but I can do most of this. I can now talk. Matter of fact, where I'm right now is in Medford, because I am getting it. I'm getting one of my nursing homes back to where it used to be.
So as you can tell, we're both pretty passionate. I'm a physical therapist, and so I have a good understanding of strokes and aphasia, and that aphasia is just a language or a speaking disorder, doesn't affect intelligence at all. And Ken's journey has just made him very aware that he's fortunate through his hard work and his success, but most people aren't. And the treatment's already out there. the people with aphasia are already out there. It's just a huge cost barrier that doesn't allow these people to attend. So we're looking all across the nation, and because we have a connection with Salem Airport, we wanted to just meet with you and propose that and get your thoughts and see if that would be something that you would support, and so we can start moving towards making that happen.
Right, thanks, Leah. It's a little bit interesting because our job, if you will, our job description is to advise the city on airport matters. So we don't really have the jurisdiction to say yay or nay. But I think we can definitely provide some input and provide some feedback, and maybe about next steps and contact information and how to move forward. So I think, first of all, Kent, I'm glad to hear that you're on the mend and on the up and up, and back flying. I'm glad to hear you're back in the air. That's excellent news. This is definitely sounds like something that personally I think would be a benefit for the aviation community to support and get involved in. But like I said, officially, it's kind of a little bit outside of our purview of doing something specifically with that. I think we do have a great resource in the room with Aaron, the airport manager. He might have some points of contacts and some opportunities. But yeah.
Yeah, and Mark Bechtel as well. Yeah, so it's interesting because we've had this question come up recently with a lot of people just wanting to generate excitement and enthusiasm around the airport. So I think this would springboard really well on some of that conversation that's already taken place, and we'll work closely with Mark to make sure we can make something happen. I'll reach out to you via email if that's okay, Leah.
Yes,
I believe I have your email, so I'll reach out and let you know what we need.
okay. Well, thank you so much, all of you, for your time, and hope to see you all, meet you all someday, and hope to see you at the fundraiser when it happens.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, thank you so much.
Thanks, Leah. Okay, I do not see any other public comment on the docket, so moving on to reports. Tower Chief's report is Rob. I didn't see Rob on.
No,
Did he submit a report?
just numbers. Yeah, he submitted the activity counts for the month. And I don't have them there with me.
That's either they're broken out by like hours of the day
Yeah.
for each day.
They came in a little unique. It was a little different than normal. I want to say we're down slightly year over year, but not substantially.
I think those are the aggregate
Yeah.
numbers.
Yeah, just a minor. Looking here really quick. Our total. Yep, just a 200 operations since last year difference. So between October last year and October this year. Looks like our totals might be down slightly as well year over year, but still healthy numbers. Everything looks like we're operating as normal.
Okay, thanks. And I guess we can transition right into the airport manager report.
That's one I have printed, yeah.
That's when you're ready.
Okay, so yeah, I won't necessarily read all of this, just kind of touch on the highlights. We had our annual TSA badge audit, awesome results on that. We have to meet a minimum of 5%. Anything more than 5% lost badges, we rebadge the entire population. We came in at 0.003%. So it was good, yeah, good audit. Upcoming, our FAA Federal Cert inspection is first week of December. That's a 3-day inspection where they come and look at everything from fire response to our lighting and signs and airport markings and records. We have a report here on airport revenue from the landing fee and parking fee system that went into place on September 1st. Numbers came in higher than what we anticipated, not by a lot, but it was a healthy month. And we are looking forward to the next, I guess, November and December to see if those trend down or kind of what those are looking like. Usually they're quieter months, so that report is on there. And then I also included the adjustments and a little note on why some of those adjustments are coming in. So right now it's kind of a learning process for a lot of people. We're making sure that we have our base aircraft list up to date, and that the maintenance aircraft that we're getting in are being accounted for. So what we're seeing currently is some of those aircraft are slipping through the cracks and they're getting invoiced, and then we go back and correct them, and that's what we show on the report here as adjustments. Those are aircraft that shouldn't have been invoiced but did receive an invoice, so they're easy to correct. It's not a problem.
So based aircraft should not be in the invoiced column at all to begin with.
Correct.
Okay.
And the same with military.
Yep.
And so how did they track, I mean, do they still track it though? They could you pull up and say, hey, there was 200 military link takeoffs and landings in October?
Yep, that's I don't know about military. It might be a little harder, unless you guys are using ADSB.
Yeah, we're required to.
You are?
Yeah, since the accident last year in New York. Yeah, it's all
Gotcha.
every Army aircraft will have ADSB on.
So yeah, we should see it on the report, and at least on our base aircraft, I know that it just strikes it through, as it just zeroes it out.
Okay.
An exempt aircraft. But yeah, we see all the activity, and it still shows up in all of the numbers as far as like daily counts and stuff like that. So cool. Yep. And aircraft under maintenance, those ones we have to submit every month for aircraft that are here to be worked on. So what we're seeing is an aircraft might go out for a test run or something like that, a magneto check or whatever, and it'll log it as a parking fee. So every time they turn it on, then it sees it on the ground and says, oh, you're parked here again. And so those rack up pretty quickly. So all the maintenance aircraft are exempt, and then life flight and stuff like that as well. So yep. Just a brief note on air service. The city council in October approved city contribution from the general fund of $500,000 over 3 years, or excuse me, $100,000 per year.
Don't make me have a heart.
Sorry. Yeah, the other one. So that $100,000 over 3 years, $300,000 total, combined with money that was generated from the public contributions. So businesses, local area businesses, Travel Salem, and Marion County brings us up to $500,000 per year for 3 years. So $1.5 million in an MRG, which is a healthy MRG. You remember last time with the Velo was 1.2 million through the SCSD grant total. So yeah, we're excited about that, and we're using that as some good leverage as we talk to airlines.
Yeah, I know that we had the consultant come to the city council, and he was suggesting that we be looking to see if we could have 3 million over the 3 years, but that certainly wasn't reached, and so we're going to see how the 1.5 does, and I'm not sure. I haven't heard anything. I don't know if Mark has heard anything, but I'm sure we will be told when we are able to be told. Oh, looks like he's going to talk.
Yeah, hello, everybody. Actually, Aaron can speak to this just as well as I can, but we are in very frequent communication with Volair Aviation Consulting. There are consulting aviation consultants of record, and that Jack Penning represents us, and he has been in frequent conversations with a number of ultra low cost carriers. Really can't be divulging aircraft carrier names at this point, but our minimum revenue guarantee amount has drawn interest. We're also being told that we might be more successful if we were able to increase the first year amount of that minimum revenue guarantee, because that's the critical year for an airline when they're establishing service. is that very first year. So we are looking to see if there is a way to kind of front load that amount with either additional contributions or rearranging some of the contributions in the existing commitments that we have. The city's commitment can't change because it's based on position savings over 3 years. So we can't save any more money and then put it into airline service because we would need that money to provide the airline service. So, but we're hoping that we will get some good interest. What our aviation consultant has told us is that the airline industry is in a lot of volatility right now. I think some of you may know that already. One of the large carriers, Spirit Airlines, is in deep financial trouble and has been kind of, decreasing its service areas and scope of service. And so a lot of the airlines are kind of in a wait and see mode to see what happens to Spirit Airlines, if they survive or if they go under, and what that would mean to the routes that Spirit provides and their aircraft and all that. So there's a little bit of a waiting game. There's also a little bit of good old-fashioned basketball moves, trying to box each other out and do some things to one airline trying to maybe prevent another one from getting established somewhere. So long story short, we don't have any commitments yet, but we are in the game and we are being considered. Anything we can do to increase the first year financial incentive would be even more advantageous to us. So that is kind of where we're at with that. Aaron, anything you want to add on that, Aaron?
Nope, that covers it. The only other thing is the SCASB grant. Sounds like that will open December, maybe January, is what we're expecting. And we did hear that an airline is more than happy to provide a letter of support for that SCASB grant. So we do have interest on that front. No guarantee, obviously, that we'll get it, but definitely put in for it.
When would that pay out? The grant?
Oh, do you remember, Mark, once it closes, how soon after?
For some reason, $3 million seems to be the maximum you could request.
Do you know what the time frame is on when that?
I mean, is it 2026?
Yeah, it's in 2026, and because of the federal shutdown and stuff, we don't really have new dates yet. But it would probably be February, March, probably at least, before that money would be available for payout. Keep in mind that even if we had an airline write us a letter of intent tomorrow, they wouldn't start service until late spring or summer of next year, just the way the scheduling works. So we're for Councilor Nishioka's benefit, the 5-year forecast is showing the earliest we would have an airline in service is beginning of next fiscal year. So that's kind of the time frame we're looking at.
Okay. Let's see. That's really the biggest things that we have. Some federal grants that we put in for and received, and then the master plan is ongoing. We're expecting to do the next round of public meetings, I should say, beginning of the year, so early next year. Okay.
Thanks, Aaron. Chair's report. Mike is not here, and I definitely do not have one. So we will move on to action items. I do not see any action items that we need to bring unless someone has one to add. Moving on to items for commission discussion. I believe, Aaron, you have one for rules and regulations update.
Yeah. So the airport rules and regulations have not been updated significantly for almost 10 years. So we started an effort last year to do a wholesale update on them. We got a little sidetracked with some other priorities, but it was close enough to push out that we wrapped it up and got it out. So what we're looking for is just your review and your comments on this, and then we'll submit it for public comment through the administrative rule process. So I'm not sure exactly what the timeline looks like on that, but the intent is that we make this available for our airport users in the near future.
And I understood that the draft you sent out, the red lettering was the changes.
Yep, and you can turn those off. It gets a little messy with that. Just kind of high level, the main changes in this, a completely new security section. The security section was written in a way that it does not depend on TSA involvement. So it doesn't depend on us being a federalized airport. It's broad enough that it applies to general aviation airports as well. So we shouldn't see any changes with that if we do not end up retaining our federalization. And then some smaller changes just around the document, just clarifying some stuff on it.
So some of the spill prevention.
Yep.
Was updated. All of the revisions that I saw, I thought were good. Nothing seemed controversial.
Yeah, no, it's all pretty in line with probably where it should have been updated, through the years. So.
I didn't see anything.
Okay.
Do you have to take that through any public process?
Yes. Yep. So it is an administrative rule, so we'll have to go through the whole. I'm not familiar with that process, but I will ask some people that are. Okay.
All right, does anybody else want to provide any comments on the changes that were sent out?
All look good to me.
All right, I wrote down a few things that might be worth discussing. One we've kind of talked about briefly a little bit is terms. This is the last AAC meeting of the year. Since we do every other month, we won't have one in December, so our next meeting will be in January. Right now, the terms that are ending are my first term is ending, as well as Kat Pence's second term, from my understanding.
What I see.
Yeah, Vanessa or Jody, one of them reached out to me about being reappointed, and so I think I'm being reappointed for a second term. But I don't believe Kat Pence is eligible for a second term or a third term. This is her second.
That would be correct.
So we're going to have a vacant place, and right now she is filling the role of an active pilot. I forget how many active pilots we're supposed to have by charter. 1, 2, 3. We currently have 3. We can look it up at some point, or Aaron can look it up. But so I guess as Councilor Nishioka mentioned at one point, reaching out to people that we know that might be interested. We can get with Jody or Vanessa who work with the city to get that.
So they would,
Posted?
yeah, just what happens, what I would suggest is that either you, Aaron, or Vanessa reach out to Courtney or Bridget Bennett to let them know that that one of the positions are ending, second term is ending, so that they can post that applications are open, because that is not, it's not listed, airport is not listed on open positions. So you need to make sure that people know. And then if you talk to others, provide them either with, like, go to the City of Salem Boards and Commissions and look at open positions, and then they can click the link. And it does take some time, so because the committee needs to meet and review all of those applications. And I know that the committee's been meeting, we met October, November, and I think another meeting soon. So if those applications get in soon, it might be at the December meeting, and that way they could be ready for January. But
They have to belong to certain work.
no,
They don't just
only this position,
Okay.
because this is in Ward 2, it's just that the others are more related, and I don't know all of the rules, but either active pilot or something
Yeah.
associated with airport.
At least 2 pilots, one president of the board and one representative from the Army.
So
And
we
I,
technically still, so it could be a member at large.
yes,
This,
you could have two at large, because Bryce Mike is at large right now. And what I do want to make clear is you need to make sure that you don't have to fill out the application again, you know, it might be that you need to fill it out to say, I do want to be reapproved. Because that also has to go through the committee being approved. And I keep pointing to Mayor because she's on the committee.
Yeah.
I serve as an alternate, but not always, you know.
Sure. that's
at
good
the
to know.
So I think that letting them know you want to, but I think you might have to refill out your application.
Okay.
Do you know?
No, I was just looking at, and I'm not sure what the window is, like how long is the window for applications?
Once we open it.
Set from the
Yeah.
public.
I think that it stays open until it's filled.
But you need how many positions then?
We're having one vacancy. Well, supposedly, my term is ending, they contacted me about being reappointed. I said I was willing, and that's the last I heard. So I can,
So, yeah. I
I'll
think
circle
just-
back to see if I need to make sure.
If Vanessa or somebody
Yeah.
can find out for sure, but generally speaking, we see the application renewed when it goes to the committee for a second term, or it may be that we could just simply hear that you want it. That's I think what you need to find out.
I'll circle back.
Yeah, and then get it posted.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Get somebody-
And it would be helpful, Aaron or Vanessa, whoever's doing it, if you do get the link to send it out to us. So that we can
So
say,
you
hey,
can send it.
here's the link,
That's-
click on this.
Yeah, and if you go to,
That's what happened
if you go
before.
to City of Salem,
Yeah.
boards and commissions, you'll have the link. You could go to the airport and then you could go ahead and send that.
That's you can't even link shows up in your
Yeah,
email.
it's very good.
But otherwise, you look pretty good. So if you renew, then it would just be one person, but it is not.
And I think the other thing I wrote down was ethics and compliance. I know that we're working on that, making sure we get that done. But just another plug to make sure we can get that finished up, so we can do it again next year. Yeah. Does anybody else have items for discussion tonight?
I have one question. I'm sorry I was late. Public meeting. Did you discuss the equipment and whether that is
TSA.
you did?
No, we didn't touch on the TSA equipment specifically. Thanks for bringing that up. We have reached our official 90-day, I guess, deadline on that. We haven't heard anything official from the TSA yet on defederalization. So as far as we know, everything is still in place. Everything is still moving along as normal. One of our high level meetings a few weeks ago, they kind of outlined the process to us and told us what we could expect. The highest priority is going to be reassigning their staff. So the staff will not be assigned to Salem anymore, which they are now. They report to Salem and then distribute onto airports as needed. So the staff will receive a letter that gives them the option that they can either be assigned to Portland or Eugene or another airport, or take a severance and do either. Once that letter goes out, then the defederalization process will begin, but the equipment will be separate. So they said that the equipment goes into essentially a database of available equipment, and then airports can go in and request that to be brought to the airport. They weren't particularly worried about ours because it's not the latest and greatest, and a lot of airports that are getting equipment want stuff. It's great for us. It's perfect for what we need. It's actually way more than what we could have ever hoped for. So it's a great set of equipment. But yeah, they weren't too terribly worried about that part of it, about it disappearing tomorrow. So if it'll kind of be I guess a slower progress as we see some keys.
Thank you.
If we do lose equipment, you found our, lives.
Yeah.
Lose equipment, and then say next year we're able to get service back again. How does that whole, that just delay the whole start again because of,
It does. The local TSA leadership here wants to avoid that at all costs. They really do not want the equipment to leave. It's expensive to take it away and it's expensive to bring it back. The equipment that we have, some of it came at a pretty high political cost. TSA headquarters initially said no, and they were told yes. And so there was some of that went into play, and we were told that that's not going to happen again. That was a one-time thing that we can't expect them. Our service development consultant mentioned that he's working with one airport who had a similar thing happen where the equipment went away, and TSA just told them straight up that they're not in the budget to receive new equipment. So that's never happened that he's seen before, where an airline is ready to go and the TSA is saying we don't have the budget for that. So that might be a unique situation. I don't know that it necessarily applies to us, and I don't think that we're thinking that that's going to be the case, but it would be difficult to get the same level that we have now. So like I said, our local TSA leadership is really trying to not let that happen. And I think that's part of one of the reasons why they haven't hurried. They're probably taking it a little bit slower.
One more question.
Yep.
You mentioned a development consultant.
Yeah.
Who is that?
Air Service Development, that's through Volair, Jack Payne. So he came to city council and spoke during the work session.
I just want to make sure it's the same person.
Yeah, the same person, yeah, that's him. Mark, did I miss anything on that? Or say too much on that?
No, that's fine. Yeah, we're grateful that they're not in a hurry to remove that equipment. I believe didn't they tell us, Aaron, that the equipment we have is very good equipment, but it's not the next generation stuff that the big airports want. So it kind of gets put up on the TSA's kind of eBay list of equipment available to airports, but it may not be all that exciting because the airports with a lot of demand want the next generation stuff. So am I correct in my recollection there? So
yeah, she was a little more blunt in how she stated it.
okay, I'm just trying to be, we're being recorded. I'm trying to be official,
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, let's be sure to say that it works. It works very well.
It works incredibly well. Yeah. Like I said, we really couldn't have asked for better equipment. It's the type of stuff that we heard other airports have been waiting years to get, and they were able to get it pretty quickly. The full body scanner that's up there was in a warehouse, and it's not new, but it came out of the box and it was brand new. It hadn't been used before. So yeah, we're incredibly happy with what we have, and we don't want it to go away.
Okay, done.
Aaron, I think, Aaron, there's one more thing that kind of has come up today quite a bit, and I think it came up somewhat during the strategic planning conversations that the city is starting, and that is trying to develop a long-term vision for the airport. We obviously have a master plan process that's underway. That's very facilities centric. It's focused on facilities and the airport layout and how the airport functions. We have a 2020 strategic business plan, but that predates commercial air service. So I think increasingly we are under some, I don't want to say pressure, but under some direction here to start thinking about developing a strategic plan for the airport that really tries to better envision, what we want, Salem Willamette Valley Airport to become. the Chamber of Commerce really is interested in it becoming a bigger economic engine. Of course, we would love to see commercial air service come back. And we're very interested in developing the hangar spaces and things like that. But I think one of the things that we would be very interested in doing at a future AAC meeting is to kind of do a little bit of a visioning exercise as to how you would like to see as a commission, how would you like to see the future of the airport unfold? What kind of airport do you envision this airport becoming? And not pie in the sky things, but realistically, what can we accomplish here at the airport? And what could we set as a goal for the community to try to attain, knowing that the city's general fund is not the source of entrepreneurial capital, and so we need to look kind of outside the box and think about what ways we could do to move the airport forward. So as you prepare for future commission meetings, start thinking about some of these ideas and where you would like to see the airport head in the future.
Right.
Mark, I'm going to ask you a question. The strategic plan that is being worked on, would there be any opportunities within that strategic plan to contribute to the vision, or at least have a space for this body, this commission to then develop their vision within that strategy?
Well, I think anything's possible right now, since we're only now just getting kind of direction to move forward with this concept. So I think any plan that we could do to move this forward, it would be a good one. Obviously, as an airport commission, we're going to look to you for a lot of input and guidance on this issue, because this is one of the things that we would look to this commission to help us with. The Public Works Strategic Plan has a chapter for the airport, and so we would be looking at that as well. So we have the 2020 plan, we have the current, the 2024 strategic plan for Public Works, and then we have this current visioning effort that the city council is just beginning. So I think anything's open and available right now. So, yeah.
Thank you.
All right, is there any other items for discussion?
So I was just texting with my neighbor, and he's interested in taking that open vacancy.
Okay.
So he's a new pilot, and he's been his part owner. I think he just went in on a plane. So
Definitely share the link.
yeah, if somebody could send me the link and I can get him the information, but he's a good dude, so he was.
I think they have to first list it as vacant.
We'll get working.
That's great. Good job.
Problem solver.
Yeah, good. Looks like Mike joined us. Hi, Mike.
Howdy. I just got out of my other meeting and I'm recovering from a cold, so I'll stay on mute most of the time. Save you the trouble.
All right, well, unless Mike has any parting words, this is the last meeting for the year, so see you guys next year. Happy holidays, and hope you guys have some fun holiday times. See you next year.
Happy holidays.
Thank you.
Thanks, Chris. Appreciate your stepping in at the last minute like that.
Sure thing. You weren't here for the rough part.
Yeah, I guess I owe you a beverage. You can brief me.